Hello everyone! Today KDE 6 is out!
Yay!
It's a big day for me because I love that graphical interface. This is the one I prefer. Of course it is a personal opinion. So on the previous day I made some video about KDE 6 and today when I opened my KDE Neon machine I got that notification that I have 833 package to install. And if I look at the list, we now have KDE 6 package on this update. We also have the entire KDE software suite updated, the KDE gear. In the official KDE website, we have the confirmation KDE Mega Release 6 is out. So of course I'm going to install it on the next hour to test it on that machine. And if I found something to talk about it, I will try to do another video. So just as a reminder, KDE Neon is a Linux distribution made by the KDE team. It is a Linux distribution based on Ubuntu LTS. And KDE Neon offers the latest version of all KDE stuff. It is not only for the KDE graphical interface, but also the latest software made by the KDE team and the library too. If you use another Linux distribution and you want to try KDE 6, each Linux distribution is different about how it will be available. If you use a rolling release Linux distribution, normally in a few weeks or a few days for some distribution, you will have the update. Of course, it's dependent of your Linux distribution, their philosophy about the update, how long they want to test the new version. And if you use a Linux distribution like Debian, KDE 6 will only be available on the next version of Debian, on its Debian 13 version. It should be possible to use a non-official repository to test it, or use Debian testing or SID to test it, but it is not recommended if you install Debian on a production machine or any machine that you need to be very stable. In this case, I recommend you to stay at the stable version of Debian with the KDE version 5.27 for the moment. For Ubuntu, I read that the next LTS version of Ubuntu will not include the KDE 6. The reason is simple. They have not enough time to test this mega release, and the next version will be a LTS version. So it's very important to have stable stuff on this version. But of course, a non-official Ubuntu repository should offer the KDE 6 version for this next version of Ubuntu. So like I said, every Linux distribution differs on when KDE 6 will be available. And if your current environment works fine, it is not necessary to upgrade KDE to the version 6. You can continue to use your system how long your Linux distribution is supported to receive security fix, of course. So we will see a quick review of the new feature of KDE 6. I have already covered it in a previous video, but now we have a nice page of this feature with some image to describe all new things. So that version 6 is a transition version to the latest of the KDE frameworks, Qt, and a lot of background stuff. There are a lot of change about Wayland to stabilize Wayland, to make Wayland work better with KDE. I will test it and maybe do a little review about it in the coming week. But before, I want to use it first for some weeks to know how it feels to work with this new version. We see here a lot of improvement about the touchpad gesture. Some things about the colors. Plasma on Wayland now has a partial support for HDR. We have new wallpaper. And there's also have other cosmetic things. The floating panel will be by default. Like I said on my previous video, you now have to double click to open a file or a folder on this new version. It is now the new default behavior But of course you can change it if you want to use it like the previous version. Wayland is now the new graphical server. The Breeze theme have been modernized, refreshed. The hair theme has been removed because it was no longer maintained and contained some bugs. We have a complete restructuration of the system setting tools, and I made a video about that on the previous days. I will put the link in the description if you want to see that video. The cube is back. This is an effect available if you have several virtual desktops. It is possible to activate that cube effect, which will allow you to browse your desktop just like this. For the search tool in Plasma, we have some configuration addition. Here we see that we can configure the order of the result of the research. And according to this new, KDE search is now 200 faster when it's searched in the recent documents, 60% faster for application search, and it requires less CPU usage. I will test it on the next week to know if it is true. We have an improvement about the fingerprint unlock from the lock screen. The news talk about the Plasma mobile version. It's something I never tried, but I'm very interested to try it one day. All KDE applications have been updated to their 24.02 version. If you want to know what's new on each application, I invite you to go on the KDE website and try to find the news about your new version of the application you use. Personally, I use KDE Live and Krita. So of course, today I will go to see what is new about these two software. So don't hesitate to write me in the comments to write what you think about the new version, if you're going to test it soon, or if you will wait a few months before install it. Personally, I will try it. I have that machine with KDE Neo to try it, but it is not something I will install it on my production machine. It is a too recent product. I will wait some month, and I will only install it when the Linux distribution will offer it officially. On my case, I don't use any rolling release on my production machine. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope it was useful for you. I wish you a good day, and bye bye.